A very good afternoon to the students. This lecture is all about on the vehicle transport management, and this is the lecture 2 of the series of lectures that we are going to see on vehicle transport management. The topic for the lecture today is all about the vehicle transport, the strategies of vehicle transport that is followed in India, as well as the economic policies that that India is overtaking on vehicle transport management. Also, we'll have a take a look on what are all the companies that are producing or manufacturing the vehicles on a very global level. So, as a prerequisite or recapitulations to the moving forward, so we should be able to tell the transportation meaning and its types, which I've already covered in lecture number 1. We should be also able to appreciate the role of the economic role the transportation plays in the economy. That is, what is the role that transportation will have in the coming years in the Indian economy. We should also appreciate the economic and service characteristics of the basic modes of transportation. And finally, the career selection process. So these were some of the prerequisites or the recapitulations that we should have before going into the slides forward. So, talking about the objectives of today's lecture, the objective number 1, which I'll tell you in the upcoming slide, is to understand the meaning of transportation, the fundamental meaning of transportation, to understand the types of transportation, and also to understand the principles of role of economic transport policy, and we'll also deal with some of the companies or some of the manufacturers that the passenger vehicles or the commercial vehicle manufacturers, and we will focus in India. So moving forward, let me tell you about the role of transportation and the fundamental meaning of transportation. So as you can see in the slide, that transportation plays a very major role in the daily life of human beings. So it is necessary for things to be moved around, and as the transportation system have developed over the period of time, you can see that the speed and efficiency of these transport systems is going to improve drastically and have improved drastically, considering the fact that the transportation systems have developed to an extent that it has improved very much drastically. The importance of transportation is showcased in how individuals, business and governments rely on it to access the resources. You know, the society cannot function optimally if it doesn't have measures in place to facilitate transport. From movement to work to travel around the world, being able to arrive at various places or deliver different items on time, it is very much vital for overall productivity and sustainable development of our nation. So people, resources, jobs and economies all over the world, movement to keep the entire world moving forward. So the fundamental meaning of transport is the transport refers to the activity that facilitates physical movement of goods as well as individuals from one place to another. So in business, it is considered as an auxiliary to trade. That means it is going to support trade and industry in carrying the raw materials. So this slide is all about the evolution of the sector, and I've taken the sources from the Tata Motors, Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers. So the Indian government and the Suzuki formed Maruti Udyog and commenced production in 1983. So component manufacturers entered the market via JV buyers or the joint venture. JV stands for joint venture buyers market. The Automotive Mission Plan 2016-26 was launched in 2015, and in that the Bharat Stage 4 emission norms. So there are various emission norms whenever some vehicles come into the market, and among which we have the BSES norms, which is called as Bharat Stage Emission Standards. So in which BS4 emission norms came into picture since April 2017. 29.1 million vehicles produced in 17-18 period, and more than 40 companies are operating in the country in the year 2018. So this was the evolution of the transportation sector in the Indian economy. So this is a pictorial representation of to make you clear, to make sure that you are clear in the number of automobiles that India produces and the number of automobiles that India sells. So this figure is in millions. So from financial year 13 to financial year 19, so this graph is telling you that we had a drastic increase in the number of automobiles that is produced by India. So in financial year 18, you can see that we were somewhere around 29.07 millions of vehicles were produced, and at the same time in financial year 18 we had around 24.97 automobiles that was sold. So all these figures are reported in millions. So you can see that the production as well as selling is improving or is increasing over the period of time. So this slide is telling you that the our overall overview of how India is playing an important role in transport sector. So the automotive manufacturing industry, it comprises of the production of three kinds of vehicles. One is commercial vehicles, the passenger cars, and the three and two wheelers. So India became the fourth largest auto market in the year 2017, with sales increasing 9.5% year on year to 4.02 million units in 2017. So overall, the domestic automobile sales has also increased at 7.01 percentage and percentage between financial year 13 to 18, with 24.97 million vehicles getting sold in financial year 18. The domestic automobile production, it increased at 7.08 percentage between 13 to 18, with 29.07 million vehicles manufactured in the country in that particular year. And particularly during the quarter, that is April to December 2018, so the automobile production has increased by 11.34 percentage to reach 23.86 million units. So during April to December, in the same period, the highest year-on-year growth in domestic sales among all the categories was recorded in commercial vehicles. So as I told you, the commercial vehicles, passenger cars, and three and two wheelers are the three categories that our Indian automotive manufacturing industry is comprises of, among which the commercial vehicles gave a very high percentage of sales, that is 25.86 percentage, followed by 18.85 percentage year on year growth in the sales of three wheelers. So this clearly tells you the capacity that India has over the period of time from 13 to 18 over the last 5 or 6 years. So this slide tells you the clusters and the leading companies. The leading companies that the world has seen over the period of time, that India has seen over the period of time. So we have many vehicle manufacturing companies like Ashok Leyland, you all would have heard about it, the Swaraj Mazda, the Amtech Auto, Acer, Honda SIEL, Maruti Suzuki, Tata Motors, Bajaj Auto, Hero Group, Escorts, ICML, Mahindra, to name a few. These are few of the Indian companies that manufactures vehicles on a very large scale. And we have many more, but I've listed some 10 or 15 for you to remember. And we have many more such companies in Indian as well as the world economy. Now, talking about the economic function of transportation, so the Earth is a planet gifted with abundant, non-homogeneous natural resources, each located, blessed with different climates, soil, and fertility. It is because of these variations in natural habitat that some areas are more efficient in growing certain crops, mine certain commodities and fish certain type of fish. Thus we all depend on various types of goods and services all over the world to sustain our the daily needs of the market. So this necessity, the need of exchanging all sorts of products and services, natural resources and movements. So the social interaction will promote the social relationship in the communities. The transport will promote the social development and welfare of human beings. The formation of urban society is always highly influenced by transportation, etc. So the market leader in passenger vehicles segment held around 50% market share in the segment financial year FY18. The company recorded its highest ever sales of 1779574 units during 1718, a year-on-year increase of 13.4 percentage. The company also crossed its cumulative production milestone of 4 million two-wheelers from its Gurugram based plant in 2018, and we have also, as of January 2019, the Tatas to soon unveil the electric car based on its newly developed Alpha platform as a long-term plan for sustainable mobility. Bajaj Auto is a leader in three-wheelers with 58.15% market share in financial year 18. And in February 19, Bajaj Auto will also launch its new all-electric brand Urbanite in India in the coming 6 to 9 months. Plagio Vehicles is the second leader in three-wheelers with 24.5% market share, and this is telling you the important market leaders in Indian economy. Talking about the luxury vehicles, with sales of around 40,000 luxury cars in 2017, India have become the 27th most attractive luxury market in the overall world. And it is expected to grow. It is expected that this luxury car market will grow at 25% by the end of 2020. You all would have known the company called Audi. Audi is launching its luxury electric SUV car in India in 2019, and the electric SUV will be called e-tron. The Mercedes-Benz crossed 16,000 annual sales for the first time in India and sold around 16,236 units in 17-18, recording a 22.5% growth during the year. The company was ranked first in sales satisfaction in the luxury vehicles compartment according to the JD Power 2018 India Sales Satisfaction Index. So according to them, the survey was conducted, and this company, that is Mercedes-Benz, was ranked #1 in sales satisfaction. Now, catering to the Indian needs, most of the firms, including the Ford and Volkswagen, have adapted themselves to cater to the large Indian middle class by dropping the traditional structure and designs. And BMW India has also launched its online sales channel in India to enable the customers to bring products, choose a preferred dealership, and even book a test drive if they want so. And you can have it all online booking, etc. Strategies adopted, the launch of new models. We have many such models who have launched various newer technology as technology is improving. One such company is Honda. It is planning to launch 3 new car models in India by the end of 2020, and it will localize the engines to keep the prices as low as possible, because competition is another important factor which all the companies are going to target at. Ashok Leyland has planned a capital expenditure of around 1,000 crore to launch 20 to 25 new models across various commercial vehicle categories in 2018-19. The Hero MotoCorp is another company which is going to launch 5 new two-wheelers it has already launched in financial year 19. The Hyundai is going to launch its first electric vehicle in India in 2019. The Java motorcycles competing Royal Enfield in 300cc segment are sold out till September 19. Maruti Suzuki is planning to start testing prototypes of its electric vehicle by the end of 2018. So these are some of the key industry organizations which I have listed. That is the Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers, and the short form is SIAM. It is located in the Indian Habitat Center, New Delhi, and I've given you the contact address of these organizations for you to remember. The Federation of Indian Automobile Associations, which is also located in the Mumbai region. Now let us look at some of the positive growth prospects. So automobile exports grew 18.53% year on year during April-December 2018. Indian automotive industry is expected to reach rupees 16.16 trillion by 2026, and two-wheelers are expected to grow 9% in 2018. Strong policy support from government is also required. Indian auto industry is expected to see 8 to 12% increase in its hiring during the financial year in the upcoming financial years. So you can see that the key industry organizations and the positive growth prospects that Indian automobile industry has got over the period of time. In summary, I can say that we are the fourth largest automobile market in 2017, with sales increasing 9.5% year on year to 4.02 million units. And we are the seventh largest manufacturer of commercial vehicles when I call about 2017. The presence of established domestic and international original equipment manufacturers, that is OEMs, strong market in terms of both domestic demand and exports. In segmented market, the automobile sector is split into 4 segments, each having few market leaders. The two-wheeler segment and the passenger vehicle is going to dominate the domestic demand. The two-wheelers accounted for 81 percentage of domestic demand in 2017. So that shows you the prospects that Indian automobile sector is going to have in the upcoming future. So before going into the next few topics in the upcoming slides, so let me brief you about the road transport. So roads are the means that connect one place to another on the surface of the land. So you must have seen some roads in your village, in towns and cities, and not all of them look alike. Some of them are made up of sand and some maybe of chips and cement or coal tar. So you find different vehicles plying on roads like bullock carts, motorcycles, cars, trucks, etc. So some are motor driven and some are man driven and some are animal driven. So this will be the focus of my next lecture. So these are few of the references that I have mentioned from where this PPT has been made. So you can always go through these references in case you have any doubt on any lecture or any topic. So you can always go through these kind of references. So at the end, I can say the Indian automobile industry is on a rise, and it is going to become the largest manufacturers of both commercial vehicles, the passenger vehicles, and the two or three wheelers. And we are going to dominate the market in the coming years. As you can see in my previous slides and all that, we will have an increase of 7%, 8% over the period of next 2 to 3 years. So that shows you that the Indian manufacturing units are working pretty hard to make sure that the Indian economy boosts from the Indian transport sector. So thank you very much for your attention and everything, and I hope you all the best. And there are few questions which you can practice. The number one question is, what is the role of the various types of transport in shaping the Indian economy? So that you can practice, and you can write the answers and come back to me.